Welcome to One Insight. My name is Litvin. I grew up in London and I now live in LA. And this is a podcast for extraordinary top performers and their coaches. You see, I've coached some of the most successful and talented people on the planet. I can see what most people cannot see, and I dare to say what most people wouldn't dare to say. And what I know about success is that on the other side of it, it can be incredibly lonely. You can feel more of an imposter the more successful you become. And when you're the most interesting person in the room, you're actually in the wrong room. Clients who are more successful, more intelligent, and wealthier than you need your support more than they know and more than you can imagine. I coach around insight. Life looks one way, something happens, and the world looks different, and your entire world changes. It can happen in an instant. And this podcast is called One Insight because a single insight can change everything.
Well, this was fun. I started a conversation with Marli, who lives in Australia. She's the vice president at an International Pharmaceutical Company, which manufactures products for very rare diseases. It's an amazing job she does, makes a real difference in the world. She heads an international team of 60 different people all around the planet. This is a woman who does extraordinary things. On top of that, she does 3 hours a week of pro bono coaching. And I was curious, where are we going to go? And I called this podcast One Insight for a reason, because a single insight changes everything. And a single insight can happen in a moment. And you'll see just how fast that insight occurred when you listen in. Enjoy. Hi, Marli.
Hi, Rich.
Hello. What would make this an extraordinary conversation?
I think if I could come away with a little bit of clarity about really what I really want.
Why clarity be useful, Marli?
Because at the moment I'm very busy. I'm doing a lot of things. I have a lot on my plate with work, with my main job, with family issues, with life, and coming to a point where I feel like I'm living for everyone else, but not for myself.
Well, I felt that. So what strikes me is that you don't so much need clarity as space.
Yeah.
And clarity will arise from that space, but you need time for you, right?
Yes. Yes. Hard to manage, hard to get there.
Well, definitely hard to create when you don't make it a priority.
Yeah.
And my sense about you is that you're really good at putting everyone else's needs ahead of yours because you're really good at taking care of other people, being there for them in business, making great things happen. And so all the space that's left for Marli is squeezed into this tiny little space at the end.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I coach around insight. And the thing about insight is when you have an insight moment, you're there. And my sense is that I could take you off the hot seat right now and we're done.
Maybe.
And no, don't get me wrong. Look, I know it's tempting. Like, well, but what about the time we could spend together, Rich? But you know what?
Yeah.
If you took the next 30 minutes for you, it starts there. What would you love to do? If you had 30 minutes to do whatever you wanted to do, just to take care of you, nobody else's needs, what would you do?
Not sure. Actually not sure. I think I'd just do nothing.
Yeah.
Just sit and do nothing.
All right. I'm going to take you off the hot seat. even when you're ready to talk about what's coming next, we can talk about that. But right now, and for a while, your mission is to take care of Marli. Clarity will arise from that. You've got a track record of doing extraordinary things. You wrote to me, these are your words, they're in front of me. I know when everything lines up, I can do or be whatever I put my mind to. And I believe that you've always done that. Create some time for Marli. And even if it's a tiny bit of time each week for now, and then build it out. So it becomes a daily practice, time for Marli, and the clarity will occur. Thank you, Marli.
Thank you. Thank you.
For most of human history, it wasn't called coaching, it was called leadership. And it's what I love to do, to coach people, to lead people, and to mess with people's thinking. If you'd like more of this, or if you'd like to learn more about our community of extraordinary top performers, go to richlitvin.com/oneinsight.